In 2024, Shein's supply chain pumped out over 11 million metric tons of carbon emissions, more than the entire nation of Lebanon. This staggering figure is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the environmental cost of fast fashion's biggest disruptor. That's from a company selling $5 tops that barely survive 2 washes. These ultra-cheap garments are designed for short-term use, encouraging shoppers to buy more, wear less, and toss them out without a second thought. Fast fashion already accounts for 10% of global CO2 emissions, but Shein has supercharged the model, adding up to 10,000 new items to its website every day. This relentless output floods the market with disposable trends, fueling a cycle of constant consumption. That's a garbage truck of textile waste dumped every second, globally. Most of these clothes end up in landfills or incinerators, leaching chemicals and microplastics into our soil and waterways. This relentless churn creates a culture of disposable consumption on a scale the planet has never seen. Social media hauls and viral trends only accelerate the throwaway mindset. In the UK, Shein's sales soared 32% in 2024, with profits up over 56%. The brand's explosive growth shows no sign of slowing, as it captures the wallets and wardrobes of young shoppers. Their transportation emissions alone now rival those of nearly 2 million cars. Every package shipped across continents adds to the mounting environmental toll. Shein isn't a niche player, it's a global giant, embedding itself in the shopping habits of millions. Its reach stretches from New York to Nairobi, reshaping fashion consumption worldwide. The result? A business model that's driving us straight toward environmental disaster. The true cost of cheap fashion is paid by our planet's health and future generations. And the pace is only accelerating, with no signs of slowing down as demand for fast, cheap fashion continues to skyrocket. How does Shein flood the world with new clothes? The answer lies in a business model that's obsessed with speed and relentless innovation, pushing the boundaries of what's possible in fashion retail. Their secret? A lightning-fast, 10-day design-to-doorstep cycle, meaning a new idea can go from a designer's sketch to your front door in less than 2 weeks. That's faster than your milk goes bad, and it's a pace that leaves traditional retailers scrambling to keep up. Using real-time data and powerful algorithms, Shein churns out thousands of styles in tiny batches, testing what works. If a style sells, they ramp up production instantly. If not, it's abandoned, creating mountains of waste almost overnight. Clothing is treated as disposable, worn once for a social media post, then tossed aside, fueling a cycle of constant consumption and disposal. This breakneck speed is only possible through a vast, opaque network of third-party suppliers, mostly in China, where oversight is minimal and working conditions are often hidden from view. Shein acts more like a digital marketplace than a traditional retailer, connecting countless small factories directly to global consumers, bypassing the old rules of fashion. Their aggressive expansion, pop-up shops, new offices, and a relentless influencer marketing machine keeps the consumption engine running at full throttle, always reaching new audiences. It's a perfectly tuned system for fast, endless, and ultimately unsustainable growth, one that's reshaping the global fashion landscape at breakneck speed. The world is finally pushing back. After years of unchecked growth, fast fashion giants are facing a wave of resistance from governments, activists, and everyday consumers who are demanding real change. Across continents, new laws and grassroots movements are challenging the status quo, making it clear that the era of disposable clothing can't continue without consequences. From passionate rallies in city streets to online campaigns, people everywhere are raising their voices for a more ethical fashion industry. In 2025, France passed a groundbreaking law, slapping a €5 environmental surcharge on every ultra-fast fashion item, banning ads, and demanding transparency from brands about their supply chains and environmental impact. The goal is simple, but powerful: make the true cost of cheap clothes impossible to ignore, and force companies to take responsibility for the waste they create. Other countries are following suit, closing trade loopholes that let Shein and similar companies avoid tariffs, raising their shipping costs, and directly challenging their low-price, high-volume business model. In Italy, Shein was fined $1 million for greenwashing, making false claims about sustainability while emissions and waste kept rising, exposing the gap between their promises and reality. Regulators are now calling out the disconnect between Shein's glossy marketing and the environmental damage happening behind the scenes, putting real pressure on the industry to change. The message is clear: The era of unchecked fast fashion is under threat, and the world is watching closely. But while new laws are being written, they move slowly, and Shein's business still moves at lightning speed, adapting quickly to every challenge. The fight is just beginning, and the outcome will shape the future of fashion for generations to come. Under pressure, Shein is scrambling to look green. They launched the Shein line, hired a head of sustainability, and published glossy reports. But regulators found their emissions actually increased, even as they touted recycled materials. This is classic greenwashing. Big promises, little change. Shein's business model, 10,000 new styles a day, $5 tops, can't be truly sustainable. Real change would mean fewer, better clothes, not more disposable ones. Until Shein's actions match their words, their sustainability claims are just marketing. Don't be fooled by a green label on a mountain of waste. So, what can we do? Every purchase is a vote for the system that made it. This isn't about shaming, but about understanding the true cost of cheap clothes. The most sustainable garment is the one already in your closet. Stay skeptical of billion-dollar brands suddenly claiming to be green. Demand transparency, accountability, and real change. The fast fashion frenzy will only slow when we choose durability over disposability. Celebrate personal style, not fleeting trends. The future of fashion and the planet depends on it. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more deep dives.